Welcome to Albers Vista Gardens here in East Bremerton. For more than 20 years, a Bremerton couple has cultivated this property to include some of the most rare plant and conifer species in the world, and we've got an exclusive tour for you on this week's edition of the Bremerton Beat Blast. Stick with us.
10 cents for the number, dream merchant selling.
Welcome back to this edition of the Bremerton Beat Blast, sponsored by the Admiral Theater. Story number 1 today, John Albers built this gorgeous garden on nearly 5 acres off of East 31st Street. What was once covered in Scotch broom and blackberries is now a beautiful botanic site overlooking the Port Washington Narrows and including some of the most rare conifers and plant life in the world.
We transformed the property, had a lot of invasive plants, so we had to remove all those. Well, it's very special. We have a great diversity of plants, around 1,200 different cultivars and species, and over 400 species and cultivars of conifers alone. It's set in a beautiful setting with beautiful views of the Bremerton area, and also it is a place where we can share our desire to show the public how to grow sustainable landscapes.
You can come have a look at Albers Vista Gardens for yourself. This Saturday, Albers will open the gardens at 9 a.m. for an exclusive Kitsap Sun story walk. The walk is free, it's at 9 a.m., and all you have to do is RSVP at kitsapsun.com. Story number 2, this weekend marks the 2nd annual Bremerton Bridge Blast. Kitsap County is expected to converge on the shores of the Port Washington Narrows to see an incredible fireworks show off of the Minette Bridge. Now, if you're coming, I suggest getting there early and remember to pack out your trash. Festivities will begin on the Louis Mentor Boardwalk with music from Jack Parker at 12:30. They'll last until 8 p.m. and there will be an air show from 8 to 8:45 p.m. before the fireworks kick off at 10:15. Story number 3, the USS John C. Stennis came home Monday night. The aircraft carrier was headed through Rich Passage when a crowded Walla Walla ferry was returning home with commuters from Seattle. The aircraft carrier is a common sight here in Bremerton, but it won't last forever. John C. Stennis has to go back for its midlife overhaul in the coming years ahead, and it will be leaving Bremerton for Virginia. So enjoy that sight of CVN 74 while it lasts. Story number 4, a heartfelt thank you to all of you who came out to the Bridging Bremerton event this last Saturday. Over 4 events, we had about 1,000 people, 2 story walks, a scavenger hunt for kids, and a pub crawl in Minette to cap the night. My hope is that you too will use this popular urban trail that we are so fortunate to have in our community. And finally, story number 5, speaking of Bridging Bremerton, what happens when you bring together a group of about 12 different artists and give them lots of paint? With help from Bremerton's Rotary Clubs and others, we were able to supply a group of artists to go to the Minette Art Wall on Saturday for Bridging Bremerton, and this is what they made.
10 cents for the number, dream merchant selling also too. Don't think we can wait another summer, sun's up, it'll be hot soon. We both lie here waiting, wondering which one it will burn.
And finally, what's on tap for your weekend in Kitsap County? Sponsored by Silver City Brewery Tap Room. This weekend is the Bremerton Bridge Blast. It's the 2nd annual. You'll probably see a fireworks show, the likes of which you haven't seen before if this is your first time, and if it's your second time, the waterfall is back, from what I hear. Vendors, food, lots of music, and an air show will take place in the skies above the Port Washington Narrows. Hope to see you there. That's our show for this week, Bremerton. We'll see you next week. This week's Bremerton Beat Blast soundtrack is one selection by Dallas Talley and backed by Dory Craze on vocals.
The